Hi, my name is Sheri Mizumori. I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience at the University of Washington in Seattle, Washington. I'm third generation Japanese American, born and raised in Seattle. I'm a first gen college student, and so I had absolutely no idea what a research career was until I got into college. Actually, not even until I was a senior in college, to be honest. But it ended up that at University of Washington, where I did my undergraduate work, that I needed to participate in research in order to graduate. And so my last quarter, I just signed up for one that was available, and I ended up loving it. And I just luckily just ended up in a lab with a really good mentor. And so he hired me for 2 years after that as a postbac research assistant. And I ran experiments, and he gave me independence and encouraged me to publish papers and give talks. And that was pretty amazing, I thought, experience. And then an opportunity came for me to apply to grad school, so he encouraged me to do that. And so I applied, and then I got in. And what I learned about grad school is just what I learned by talking to grad students at that time. There were no professional development programs at that time because it was so long ago. I was very interested in brain and behavior, trying to understand how brain changes affects one's behaviors and one's thinking and memory. And so that's been the focus of my work all the way through grad school and postdoc. I ended up in Seattle, University of Washington, where I came back there as an associate professor. I was very active in my research field and studying the neurobiology of learning and memory. I was interested in what goes wrong when there are memory disorders like in aging and Alzheimer's and such like that. But at the University of Washington, I got connected to this group that offers professional development for especially women in science. And so I started participating in that group, and I was just very intrigued by that to me, that was a whole new area of activity, professional activity that I didn't know much about. I learned a lot, talking with my colleagues at UW who were professional development experts. We put together this proposal and got funded. So BRAINS, which is an acronym for Broadening Representation of Academic Investigators in Neuroscience, is an NINDS-funded program. It's a professional development program for the career stage of post-PhD, that is postdocs, all the way up to pre-tenure assistant professors. Right now we have 179 participants who have a number of different sort of diverse and underrepresented identities. And so we do keep track of that, and since that's one of our goals is to try to help those who've been historically sort of excluded and marginalized. I like it when there are new opportunities for development of new programs or in research. It's going down a different avenue of research as we learn more. I find that very challenging, and I think this is really critical because one of the critical problems that folks are having at universities is retention of their underrepresented faculty that they hire. Now there's more people. I'm not, they still need to hire more, but certainly the hiring has gone up, but there still is too high an attrition rate. They don't get to the tenure point, right? And so why is that? And so I think the main reason I stay in this is because I feel it is so critical that we solve this problem of not only recruiting and getting folks interested in the field so they can go into the study and recruit them, have them advance through the careers, but then have them stay in the career and be happy in their careers. If they're not happy, they're going to leave, right? And that's this like nut, you might say, that people haven't cracked yet. And so to me, it's so important. Given the focus on HSIs, the keynote speaker was really quite inspiring to me because she laid out the whole landscape of where things are, where things have to go. She was talking to the administrators, the NSF people that were there, and it just opened my eyes to that whole landscape. I see and hear bits and pieces of it, but this was really quite useful. And as I listen to more discussion, I'm getting to have a better and better understanding of that. And I think that will help in terms of our programmatic development, so that we better understand even our participants, right? Because they come from a lot of these HSIs. For that, I'm really grateful for, and I enjoy talking in these discussion groups. We all have different pieces to add based on our own experience, regardless of who we are and where we're coming from. And I feel like there's a lot of learning that's happening, and that's really inspiring to me.